Hey guys, Shadowlands back. It's been quite a while since you guys have seen a video from me. I realize it's been probably more than a year by now, so you guys are probably wondering a few things. Why am I back? Why this random video? Why have I been gone? I'm going to address all those things, I promise. So step number one, why am I back? Well, this is probably the easiest thing to answer. Combat Arms Classic is back, and this is something that I've been vying for, that a lot of people have been vying for, that everybody's been asking Nexon, please bring back the old CA, and Nexon basically threw the papers in and handed it off to Velof, which I think is pretty awesome for a lot of reasons. And there's some things that could have been done better, but that's a topic for another time. So, why have I been gone? Well, the long and short of it is that school has been absolutely nuts, jobs have been absolutely nuts, internships have been absolutely nuts, and studying, writing research papers, and working on a rocketry project has been absolutely nuts. So, all of that aside, my college time is drawing to a close, and I need something to fill the time. So I figured, you know what? I love YouTube. I still love making videos. Combat Arms is finally coming back full circle, so why not get back into this? And I'm sure you guys, at least to some degree, enjoy watching my videos, so why not see if I can make everybody happy? So that's my reason for why I've been gone and why I'm sort of getting back into this. One thing I want to make pretty clear, and I'll do a more elaborate video on this at some point, but I'm pretty much doing this to get back into Combat Arms Classic. I realize that with the migration for the accounts, you do not carry over your weapons, you only carry over your rank and character and maybe a few other small things that I may have neglected over to your Combat Arms Classic account. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. They gave us a couple of perms to play with, they let us keep our rank, and we were able to remake Tears of Fear as the clan, so I have a lot of incentive to come over to CA Classic and play it with the way that we know the game should be. Not saying Reloaded doesn't have its perks, but to be honest, I'm totally happy to sit here on Classic. I'd like to make videos for Classic, and I'm not saying I'll never make a video for Reloaded, but I think for the time being, my channel is going to be dedicated to Combat Arms Classic, so unless there's something specific that needs to be covered in Reloaded, or I need to do a review on a certain weapon, chances are I'm going to be sticking with the Classic for a while, so I really wanted to come get back into this, make some videos for you guys, and see how the community's been kind of progressing as I've been gone, so there's that. Really quickly, I want to go over a few really good things I've noticed and part of the reasons that I am so inclined to come play Classic, and then I'll go over a couple of the bad things I've noticed, and to be honest, none of them are super surprising, so let's start with some of the good things. Let's start off on a positive note. Gameplay is really solid, and the lag is not that bad. I was expecting it to be far worse. I had my expectations set very low by Nexon, so it wasn't a very hard hurdle to jump over, but Velof did a pretty good job. Now, I'm not going to say lag is not non-existent, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as it was at its peak problem periods when it was with Nexon. Next is that the playing field has really been leveled. When you remove everybody's permanents and you kind of make everyone start from scratch, give some of the new people to the game a few permanents and just kind of say, yeah, you can get started with this, it kind of puts everyone on a level playing field, but I'll do a more in-depth commentary on that at a later date. It's definitely a topic I want to touch on, but basically the playing field's been leveled. It feels like the game should. It feels a little more balanced than it used to be. Not everybody's running around with Andromedases and Orthruses, or Orthuses, however it's pronounced, so that's pretty awesome. Finally, lots of people from back in the old days, as well as some new players, have been kind of popping into the game. I've seen a lot of people recognizing each other in games, not necessarily me, but like recognizing each other, hitting up old times, and it's been pretty great to see that. So you definitely see their camaraderie there from back in the day, and even a lot of people that used to not get along so well. I've seen some people from clans that used to hate each other getting along and having a great time in game, and that's really awesome to see. And then you see some new players come in and trying out the game, because a lot of these players are legitimately new. Some of the low-ranked people are trying to either start fresh or they are really just new people to Combat Arms, new people to the game who are here to see what all the hype about the classic version coming back is all about. And I think that's great. We're going to get a lot of new players. There are actually a couple of other things I thought I might bring up. Obviously, we're really happy that the old UI is back and stuff like that. That's old news, but it is cool to see. One thing that made me really happy is that they brought back Fire Team and lots of old modes, but they did it without getting rid of the newer maps that we have. So they didn't get rid of a lot of the new content that filled out those modes, but they brought back the old modes, which is fantastic. So I think Velope is making a fantastic design decision going forward with this. Hopefully they'll keep up with it, but we'll have to see that as the future comes. A couple of bad things I've noticed, and like I said, none of these are super surprising. We still have a lot of the cancerous attitude around. People still take the game way too seriously, get killed once, call someone a hacker. It wouldn't be Combat Arms without that, and clearly we are still seeing that. I still don't think I think I'm gonna stand by what my old commentary said and say that it's kind of permanently in the community now. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. And if anything, to some degree, I think this might make it slightly worse. So next to the next point I wanted to bring up was that classic hacks like aimbots, flying hacks, and likely chamming all seem to be back. I have seen several people flying around. I've seen some obvious aimbots running around getting all headshots with a knife. All this stuff still seems to be back, and yeah, so that's not really something that we have to look forward to. So chances are that's not going to help the community a whole lot, and you don't seem to see as many of those things in Reloaded. So my guess is that a lot of the hack security that Reloaded has was not brought back to Classic. So hopefully they're able to update that. One thing I've noticed actually, and I'll do another commentary on this at some point, most likely, because it's a pretty big point of topic, is when you load into the game, you will see the hack shield come up in the bottom right-hand corner, and it has both the logo for Combat Arms Classic and Combat Arms Reloaded. So they're both on the same logo. So I, in theory, should say that that hack shield should be going for both Reloaded and Classic, but that doesn't seem to be the case, because a lot of the things that you see in Classic you don't see in Reloaded or vice versa. So I'm thinking there may be some differences there, probably with the engine, obviously. If we had to go back to Classic, where you don't have the nicer shaders and stuff on the maps, the graphics are slightly different. Chances are there's been a lot of engine changes that hacks are allowed to happen in Classic, but not in Reloaded. Anyway, like I said, that is a conversation for another time. A couple of other things that I've noticed that are just things in need of cleanup. The UI is still pretty buggy, and the shop needs a lot of cleanup. It's still very, very cluttered. Things seem to be relatively out of order. You really have to make a lot of use of the filters to find what you need to find, and certain things just don't seem to be there. Perhaps they're there, but it took me forever to even look around for Ghost High Sec keys. I don't even know if they're on the shop. I spent a solid hour looking for them and had no luck, so they may just not be in the game, but obviously we can pick up the crates, so that's possibly a problem, or possibly I'm blind. Either way, it's very difficult to find certain things, and where things are placed in the shop probably don't belong there all the time. On top of that, we have not had a lot of word as to whether some of these things in the shop are going to be there permanently or if they're there just temporarily. If you look in the shop right now on Classic, you'll see a lot of things are listed as missed crates that you can buy at large quantities, and so we don't know if that's something just to celebrate the launch of the game, or if that's something that we're going to see there for a long time to come. Obviously, it'd be pretty cool if they were there permanently, but given that other things are labeled that they are one-time purchases, so things do seem to be labeled for what they are meant to be for, so either one-time purchases, limited time in the shop, and we'd like to know which things are going to be here for a while that we don't need to buy right now, or things that are only here for a limited amount of time, and if we really want them, we need to go spend our money on them now for those of us that like to spend money on the game. So that's another thing to be taken into account. And that's pretty much it. There's obviously the major bugs like Messenger not working so well, and there are a lot of clan admin bugs I've checked out with a few of my other friends that are on and have either owned clans or are admins in clans. There are currently a lot of bugs with the whole clan administration system, so hopefully that gets cleaned up, and possibly we'll get voice chat back. That'd be cool. I mean, there was a period of time in Combat Arms when that worked, but we never know if we'll see that again. So anyway, let's move on a little bit. Regarding account migration, I talked about this earlier, but I'm likely going to be playing CA Classic for the majority of my videos in time. I find it more enjoyable with a more level and balanced game. Even though the player base is a little bit smaller at the time, I do believe it's going to grow, so that's kind of nice to have, and I'm looking forward to seeing how many people we can get into the game again. As far as the account migration is concerned, I don't want to go too far into that today. That's going to be a topic for another time. Definitely looking forward to doing a commentary on that. It's definitely near the very top of my priority list, and chances are we're going to get a video on that in the next couple of weeks or so. What else did I want to touch on today? Oh yeah, Tears of Fear. That's a really big one that's been on everybody's mind. So, obviously a lot of you guys know that I was the leader of Tears of Fear. I am no longer going to be the acting leader of the clan on Combat Arms Classic. Obviously, I'm holding the title on Combat Arms Reloaded simply because it's been there, and that is the original Tears of Fear, but it's effectively a dead clan. Anyone who wants can join it as long as they're not clearly a hacker or whatever. It's a fun clan. But the one on Combat Arms Classic is being run by a good admin friend of mine from back in the day named Zarls. He's a very, very effective leader, and he'll do a great job. I am an administrator in the clan, so I am still there, still acting as an administrator on behalf of the clan, so that's just how that's going to roll, but I don't have the time to dedicate to just strictly running the clan as itself anymore. So the long and short of the answer is I'm still there, I'm still an administrator, but I'm not going to be the clan leader on Combat Arms Classic. I'd like to focus more on YouTube and enjoying my time with the game, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing. Obviously, that's the whole reason we brought back Combat Arms Classic anyway. Now, the last thing that I really want to touch on with this video is the future of my channel, because I'm sure it's been on a lot of your minds, and probably since the start of this video. Anyway, I do not think that I'll be getting back into reviews for quite some time. My reasoning for that is that I've obviously been very disconnected from the game. Anyone could see that. I've not posted a video in over a year. I've not posted consistent videos in probably 2 years, and so I'm definitely not going to be trying to jump back in and even pretend for a second that I know what I'm talking about until I've had more fleshed out experience with the game and also have got a chance to move back to Common Arms Classic and really get to know what I'm talking about. Now, chances are, for the sake of being knowledgeable, I will play Reloaded just so that I am able to talk about it in videos and be able to do reviews on new guns that come out and such, so that I can give you guys accurate information there. But obviously, since most of my time will be spent with CA Classic, I'm not going to be jumping right back into reviews. For the first time right now, I'm probably going to be spending my time doing commentaries, live video recordings, and maybe other fun events. I might even do some live streaming here and there. I'm definitely set up for that now. I've recently built a new gaming rig, and it's pretty much a complete monster. I dropped $4,800 on it, and this thing can tear apart pretty much any game you throw at it. I have yet to have it run at less than 60 frames per second on anything I've thrown at it, so looking forward to doing that. And as far as for other things to do with the future of my channel, I've been playing a whole lot of games these past few years, just getting my horizons really well spread and trying to get you guys a lot of other experiences that I can talk about. So hopefully we can diversify my channel a little bit and I can show you guys some of the cool stuff. So looking forward to doing that. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with Destiny 2 on PC. If you guys remember, I'm a huge Destiny fan, so chances are there will be a few videos on that here and there, but obviously the channel's going to be mostly Combat Arms because that's where the root of my channel lies and the root of my subscriber base. If people do want to come back and watch a more series-based thing where I do more like a once-a-week post to a series, I may do something like that. It'll depend on what people want to hear or see, so I'll have to figure out what I want to talk about or what people want to hear. So I'm going to do my best to cater to you guys for that. But for the most part right now, it's going to be live commentaries and live video recordings for fun. I'll get back to reviews eventually, just probably not anytime in the next 4 to 5 months. So we're going to let that be on its rest for a bit unless something really major pops up. But other than that, I just wanted to come back and say hello to you all. Welcome back to Combat Arms. I'm glad that it's back. Combat Arms, you are my child, and I'm glad to have you back in my arms. It's been an awesome, awesome few years, and I'm looking forward to being back with you. I'll see you all in game. Shadowlance out.